Welcome to Rough Diamond Recipes. Today's recipe is my version of beef madras. As normal, a full list of ingredients is listed below. First, heat some oil up in a pan and brown the meat in batches. I decided to cook my favourite curry after my wife told me she was pregnant again. She wasn't, but it certainly cured my hiccups. When all the meat is browned and removed from the pan, add the whole spices. That's the chilli, cardamom, cinnamon, cumin and mustard seeds. Fry these for a second or two, then add the onions. Fry the onions for a minute or two and then add the ginger and garlic. After frying the garlic and ginger off for a second, we add the ground spices, the chilli powder, turmeric and coriander. I usually add a splash of water at this stage so the spices don't burn. Next we add the tomatoes, the tomato puree and the salt and pepper. I know some people will say I should have had the tomatoes smaller, but I like it like that. Next we add the beef back into the pan, squeeze over the lemon juice and add stock until it just covers the meat. Yes, I said lemon and I'm using a lime. Place a lid on the pan and simmer for 90 minutes. If you're using a more tender cut of beef, you could probably get away with 30 or 40 minutes. When the beef is tender, remove the lid, place on a medium heat and simmer until the right consistency you like is achieved. Then serve. Hope you like this one. Hope to see you again. Welcome again to Rough Diamond Recipes. Today's recipe is chicken korma, or at least my version of it. A full list of ingredients can be found in the description box below. First we prepare the chicken. Place the chicken in a bowl, put on the lemon juice, yogurt, turmeric and salt. That's the half teaspoon of turmeric and the half teaspoon of salt. And thoroughly combine. Next we make the paste. In the food processor, put all the paste ingredients, which I've listed in the description box below, and blend to a fine paste. And add a splash or two of water to get the right consistency. Next we prepare the coconut and almond mix. Simply put both the ingredients together and mix. Can't be that hard. When you're ready to cook, heat a tablespoon of oil in a heavy bottom pan, and when nice and hot, add the whole spices. I've listed them as well in the description box. After frying the whole spices for 2 or 3 minutes, add the paste. This is also where you can add the sugar that you forgot to put in when you were making the paste. Then you can add the chicken, thoroughly mix through the paste and continue to fry for 5 or 6 minutes. Next you can add the coconut and almond mixture and again thoroughly combine. Then turn the heat down to medium, put a lid on the pan and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes or until the chicken is cooked through. And then simply serve. Welcome to another Rough Diamond recipe. Today we'll be cooking the classic curry pork vindaloo, the easy version. As normal, full list of ingredients is in the box below. Believe it or not, this is the first curry I ever had in an Indian restaurant. More of that later. Put the pork, onions, passata and oil to one side and place all the other ingredients in a blender and blitz to a fine paste. Of course, the more red chillies you put in, the hotter your vindaloo. Place the cubed pork in a large bowl and spoon over the spice mixture and thoroughly mix together. Put it aside in the refrigerator overnight or for at least 2 or 3 hours. When you're ready to cook the curry, heat some oil until it's very hot and smoking and add the pork to the pan. Mix the pork around in hot oil for 2 or 3 minutes, then add the onions, mix through, place a lid on for 2 minutes to let the onions soften up. This is where we had a problem. The next shot shows me putting the passata in, but I forgot to turn the camera on, so I'm just going to wing it. Hope nobody notices. Bet no one even saw the join. Bring up to a simmer and cook until the right consistency is achieved. As I said, this was the first curry I ever had in a restaurant. I walked in, didn't know what I was ordering, sat next to a friend. I said, I'll have the same as him. He went, okay, 2 vindaloos please. I wondered why he was smirking as the waiter walked off. Welcome again to Rough Diamond Recipes. Today's recipe is chicken doppiazza, or at least my version of it. As normal, the full list of ingredients can be found below. First, put 2 tablespoons of the oil, the garlic and ginger and the cubed 1 onion into a food processor and blend into a fine paste. Next, heat half the remaining oil, the whole spices and the sliced onions in a pan and fry gently until they caramelise and turn a bit crispy. Then remove from the pan and reserve. When the fried onions are removed, add the remaining oil followed by the onion paste. Fry this paste for a minute or 2 before adding the curry powder and the fenugreek leaves. Again, mix that through and then add the chicken. You might want to put a splash of water here to stop the spices from burning the bottom of the pan. Cook the chicken for a couple of minutes longer, then add the yogurt and tomato puree, thoroughly mix through and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. When the 15 minutes is up and the chicken is thoroughly cooked through, add the fried onions back to the pan, reserving some for a garnish. Then continue to cook for 2 or 3 minutes longer and then serve. Hope you like this recipe. Feel free to subscribe, share and like, and hopefully we'll see you. Welcome back to Rough Diamond Recipes. Today's recipe is cabbage and potato curry. This is a dry curry and don't be put off by its name, it's really tasty. As normal, a full list of ingredients can be found in the description box below. I just realised if I doubled up on the oil and took the butter out, this would be classed as a vegan recipe. So if you're cooking for a vegan, double the oil and leave the butter out. Anyway, heat the butter and oil in the pan until it's nice and hot. Add the mustard, fennel and cumin seeds, dried chilli and cardamom and fry off for 2 or 3 minutes. When this is done, it's time to add the onions. Continue to fry the onions for 5 or 6 minutes until they start to take some colour on. When this is done, it's time to add the fresh chilli and garlic. Stir that in for a minute or 2, then it's time to add the curry powder. And again, stir through. Continue to fry this mixture with the curry powder in for 2 minutes and then add the potatoes. Fry the potatoes off until they start just to take a bit of colour, then it's in with the tomato puree. Mix in, add a splash of water until just coming up to the top of the potatoes. Put the lid on and simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. When these 10 minutes are up, remove the lid, allow it to simmer until most of the liquid has been reduced. Oh yes, and add the salt to taste. Then it's time to add the cabbage and thoroughly mix in. This does look like a lot of cabbage, but it does wilt down quite considerably. At this point, the master chef in the family, i.e. my wife, decided to add a bit more salt. When the cabbage is all mixed through, it's time to put the lid on and leave to cook for 10-15 minutes. Removing the lid occasionally and giving it a good stir. When the cabbage is cooked and the potatoes are nice and soft and most of the liquid has been evaporated, time to serve. Hope you enjoyed this recipe. Feel free to subscribe, share and like.